Hey, what's up, ecosystem? Welcome back to ATI Auto Business. My name is Jay. You know, my goal every Tuesday night is to bring you another trade show level business presentation to you wherever you are, because your automotive business deserves the latest in transportation and logistic news. And if you're busy, and I know you are, in a minute I'm going to give the welcome show lineup. If you're watching on demand, you're going to know what to expect. Please do use the clickable video time code links in the video description below. Please remember to comment, like, share, tell your friends. Thanks for watching ATI. We sure do appreciate it. Data breaches, email phishing, social engineering, fake accounts, dangerous malware, and digital attacks make cybersecurity more important every day as our social fabric and workflow become more and more online. You know this. But is your data safe? Tonight we're featuring Max Graupner, head of cybersecurity and IT at RunBuggy. Plus, Jason Kong and Casey Harmon will join us. After that segment, we're going to host a NARS 2023 Repo Summit Energy with some of our Repo Bunch friends. We have a lot to talk about. Thompson is in the building, so please join the live chat. Ask your questions, share your thoughts, grow your business, break out of your vertical. Because it's Tuesday nights live on ATI Auto Business. My name is Jay. I'm your host. Welcome back to the show. What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for taking the time to join us again on a Tuesday night. Wow, we are back. So let's do this. If this is your first time here, please do feel welcome. We've got quite a crowd now checking us out. Don't be distracted by the number of views. I don't really know how that equates into... The word is out, people are watching. So please do say hello, jump in the live chat, say hello. Or if you missed the show live, put it in the comments. Just say, you know, hey, I checked it out. I agree. I disagree. I strongly disagree. Whatever it is, it's fine. It's cool. This is Auto Transport. So we go into industry news at the quarter hour. We have some things just kind of to share from last week. Last week was really busy. So crazy busy. Still trying to catch up. And in fact, me and Ty will kind of do a little bit more recap and talk, and I know that he's got a slide that he wants to talk about. That's in industry news as well. And then we're going to set up, tonight's show is Cybersecurity Champions. We have Max Graupner, head of cybersecurity and IT at RunBuggy, and this is a big issue. Very timely, too, so we're really lucky to have Max with us. He's a cybersecurity expert, and Jason Kong and Casey Harmon, also of RunBuggy, will be with us. They said they checked in with us last week. They're going to check in with us again Thursday. This is an important issue, so we're going to be talking about it this week. And then, if that's not enough, we're going to do another segment, NARS 2023 Repo Summit Energy, with our Repo Bunch friends. So it is a totally full show, and as you know this. We've broken so far out of our vertical. We are headed to the moon in the automotive ecosystem. So please join us for our journey wherever it takes us. We don't know exactly, but we have a lot to say, a lot to talk about, and the networking that's going on, wow. So, yeah, let us know how we can help you. Let us know what your questions are. It doesn't matter what it is. Put it in the live chat. Put it in the comments below. We'll be right back to say hello in the live chat. Stick around. Location Services. Collateral recovery with pinpoint precision and advanced proprietary technologies. Your single source for nationwide collateral recovery. LS Recovery. Certified and compliant. LS Skip, experienced recovery. LSPR, advanced plate recognition. LS Impound, precision capture. LS Remarketing, nationwide auction partners. LS Keys, professional locksmith. LS Transport to any destination. LS Titles, verified documentation. LS Auto Notice, secure fulfillment. One contact, one contract, we do it all. Location Services.
Recon in 2023. Time to line. Speed to sale. Managed by metrics. Know what you don't know. Technician efficiency. Workflow efficiency. More cars, less time. Know where your cars are. Connect to what you expect. Rapid Recon can help.
Car dealers can see the rapid recon difference with transparent communication through the vehicle reconditioning process, auto remarketing, and dealer inventory management software. Visit rapidrecon.com. Thank you so much. Thank you, Location Services. Yes, that is true. Thanks for putting it in the live chat. Let's go and jump in the live chat. All warmed up. Is it warm? You got it warm? Nice. Location Services is sending ATI Auto Business to NARS 2023 Repo Summit, and we're so happy. Thank you so much for doing that. Also, we have a cybersecurity show. It's in industry news. I got a message from a technology company about a issue that they heard today. Amazing. It's in industry news. Who knew? So I'm so glad you love cybersecurity because we have a lot to talk about. Carlos Braxton, ACB Logistics in the house. What's up, Carlos? Thanks so much for saying hello. Renee Lowe, our friend, she's in the Repo Bunch. Hello from Renee of the Repo Bunch in Orlando, getting ready for NARS 2023. All right, so if we're right about this, it's Tuesday, and NARS, that's North American Repossessors Summit, is already underway to some degree. Because networking is a big part of a show. If you don't know. And let's just go ahead and sidebar right now. Let's go ahead and have a little talk. Okay. So when you go to a trade show, there's different parts that matter. One part is general sessions, and you're going to learn things. That's just a part. Another part is the networking. And it doesn't matter where that happens. That could happen in a bar later. Although, as Ty likes to say, any deals made at a bar need to be reconfirmed the next day. But it's not just deals, it's getting to know people, right? Meeting people, so that networking is an important part. And then also, hey, what's up, OAV? Thanks for saying hello. Cool. So you have the sessions, the networking, and do not miss Expo Floor. And this is why the Expo Floor is an important part of combining the sessions and the networking on the Expo Floor. And this is why a good Expo Floor is a big deal. So, anyways, those pieces are so big. So what could be happening at NARS right now is, what are you guys doing? You're networking, because I think the sessions, and I was going to grab the link. Oh, I already grabbed it. reposummit.com. I think the sessions are what, Thursday and Friday? So right now where you're networking, you're eating. That's another thing I learned. When you're at a trade show, if dinner is like 2.5 hours, that's too long. I don't want to be at dinner for 2.5 hours unless it's with a client, like solid deal happening. But otherwise, yeah, don't make those dinners too long. You're gonna miss some networking. Okay. Sergio, S&E Transport, thanks for what you guys do. Thank you, Sergio. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. You wouldn't believe how much it means to us. And we actually, like, we met, here's the business card right here. Can you read it? Oh, you can't read it. Maranatha Works. Maranatha Works found us at Car Conference and told us we were the reason they were there. Every comment means a lot to us, even if it's negative. Seltzer's Transport, no problem. Thanks for letting us know. We do want to know. But, to be fair, we're going to look at both sides. You know what you guys help remind us is that there's like 4 sides of every point of view. And if we miss one of them, we only get 3 of them. We miss that 4th wall, right? So we got to get all the angles. So thanks for reminding us. You can tell us anything. And that's another thing. There's going to be some changes around here. Because apparently we've been we've just been a little too honest. So we're gonna rein back on the brutal honesty and just go with news. How about that? So we're gonna make some changes around this channel. But we're serious. We're here. This is happening. This is no longer an experiment. But you already knew that. If you're here, you already knew that. Hey, Super Dispatch is here too. Gonna be hearing more Super Dispatch on the channel. We got a lot happening, so we're really excited. Let's go ahead and jump into industry news. We'll be right back after this. Thank you so much.
Transport Auto Quoter is by far the leading auto quoting software on the market, and the only auto quoter with a pro version that comes preset with accurate pricing for anywhere in the U.S. So you don't have to worry about it. The best part is that no change with your current software is needed. Just plug TAQ in and start booking jobs. Carriers can easily plug TAQ into their current websites and start making money right away. I bet you're wondering how we do this instantly and accurately 24/7. Well, constant analytics is the key. Our Price Watch team is constantly monitoring current market conditions, paying close attention to seasonal and quick-moving industry changes. At the end of the day, it takes a lot of time and data to maintain good pricing, time that most of us just don't have on a daily basis. So free yourself up. Using TAQ Pro is really a no-brainer. Save time and money, maximizing your leads and optimizing your online investments. You'll finally be able to sleep well at night knowing that TAQ is on the job selling for you 24/7. Never missing a potential job.
Searching for that midnight auto shipping quote and new lead software you can trust? Provide instant accurate quotes online with Transport Auto Quoter. Move cars fast with Pro ABD CRM. Visit superflowsystems.com. Yeah, you know what? In fact, I missed, I think I forgot to say this. Please do. Look around. There should be a like somewhere that you missed. And reach behind the refrigerator and slap it on the screen. Thank you so much for doing that. Really do appreciate it. It helps us with our algorithms and the whatnot. If you're lost in car shipping, you can call or text Ty anytime. He's at 417-413-2764. You can email me, autotransportintel@gmail.com. We do want to help you. Thank you so much for hitting that. Just look at that like button just getting all smashed up. Sinan Skonchik, long time no see. What's going on? Thank you so much. Yeah. You know, it's like that Billy Joel song where the crowd shuffles in. SDLB, Super Dispatch Load Board. That's pretty cool. Zach Smith, hey, a broker's here. Hey, good. We talked to a lot of brokers last week, and we know there is clearly still a broker-carrier thing happening, and everybody's welcome here. Say what you got to say. Do your business. It is an ecosystem, and what can we do? There we go. All right. Mic check. 1, 2. We're okay on the sound? Check, check. Okay. Cybersecurity Champions, ATI, Tuesday nights live, 288 in a row. What's going on here is that RunBuggy let us know that they really wanted to talk about cybersecurity because they have the goods on cybersecurity, and they asked if they could come on tonight and share with us. And you know what? That seems like a good idea, because we did this show on Dispatching Live where we asked the question, are accounts getting hacked? There were several technology companies mentioned in that show. We didn't even know it was going to be a topic until it was just kind of unfolding, and it was kind of crazy. So we're lucky to have RunBuggy here with us. They talk a lot about cybersecurity, and they're going to share that with us. We've got Max Graupner. This is one of his slides where he really thinks, again, about how cybersecurity moves through the different phases of automotive. And we do love talking about the front of the store, the back of the store. We're always saying this. Now I've added, we go down in the basement, we look up in the ceiling. We want to know the full automotive ecosystem, not just one sector, because it's all connected, man. It's all happening. It's an ecosystem, from new cars to used cars. Well, look at that. I'll be dipped. Hey. Thank you so much, Ty, Cars on the Move, putting ATI to the moon in the super chat. Really do appreciate that. And if, in addition to likes, if you find like a little, just like a stack of coins and a like button on the floor, go ahead and slap it up there. Thank you so much for doing that. And in the ecosystem, every show has a different overlap, services, brokers, carriers, etc. We were at Car Conference last week, and we can't stop talking about it. If you weren't there and you want to know more about it, let us know. If you were there and we failed to connect, let us know. If we connected and you want to continue a conversation, that's right, let us know. Because that's what we want to do. We love these conferences. When we were up on stage, we're going to start talking about that. One of the themes that I like to really hit upon is following the disconnect between sales and operations. Right now, there is somebody on a phone selling something that somebody else ain't going to deliver as it was sold on the phone. Why? Why does that happen? Is it the sales guy's problem? Is it the delivery guy's problem? What happened? Maybe the instructions even got on the dispatch sheet, and the dispatch sheet instructions didn't get to the driver. Was it a dispatcher? Was it a broker? Did the customer have something wrong? This happens all the time, and it can cost you business. So we follow it. And we go places and we start, mixing things up. All right, well, Ty had the transportation dumpster fire. We were promoting the heck out of this. We learned something. I know Ty learned something during this presentation. It really had some great stuff. There's Ty up on stage at Car Conference giving his dumpster fire. And you can imagine, right? Can you imagine a room of brokers and like remarketers, and you're talking about a dumpster fire? That is tough stuff, Ty. So hats off to Ty. I thought Ty did an amazing job. Tough stuff. One of the things Ty likes to talk about is the relationship building. And it sounds trite. Listen, if you're racing against your ELD right now, you're like, relationships, psh, right? But it's a big deal, and maybe it could help save that crazy load you booked next week off of a load board, and you don't really want that load. Why don't you find somebody to talk to? Ty likes to talk about how he did this on stage. This was one of his slides. He was at the port. He was with the Repo gang. I mean, he goes around and he learns it firsthand. And then, sharing information. Did you know the average distance a unit goes once purchased online is 560 miles? Wow. Good piece of data. Here's one. This just might have been the biggest piece of data that Ty shared last Wednesday, based on a random sample of 168 super dispatch carriers who are no longer in business. The average lifespan of a carrier business decreased from 3.01 years before 2018 to an average of 1.72 years after 2018. It's almost half. And then it gives the method, but that's a real number. How do you like that? Not too much. Which would explain some of the other domino effect problems we have. And then, this is cool. This is Maranatha Works. Melissa and Adriana came to the show, said hello. Why? Because of ATI and all these shows and all this education. Amazing stuff. So, MaranathaWorks.com. Shout out to Maranatha Works. Wait till you find out what Maranatha means. So there's me up on stage. And, walking around, talking to an empty room. I mean, it was a big room. But I'm going to run a clip here in a second about the Cocaine Bear comment that I made. But it was called Heavy Loads Ahead. I renamed it Roll with the Changes. Really, I actually showed this slide up on a giant screen in a ballroom at Caesar's Palace last week. And I hit the buzzer because it shouldn't be this way. Auto transport shouldn't be like a barroom brawl in the Old West. But it is, isn't it? Especially when you book loads on a load board. Right? Who knows what you're going to get? Who knows what you're calling? You try to negotiate, that's whatever. The information on the dispatch you get is whatever. When you call, if you even do call, some people don't even call. It's whatever. And then on delivery, it's whatever. It's literally whatever, 24/7. You can do whatever you want. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. I'd love to be wrong. That's what I said on stage, pretty much. I also talk about, dude, where's my car? Because doesn't anybody have the phone number of the driver? The company we talked to was awesome. The technology's great. But dude, where's my car? And the thing is, it seems like everybody's like, well, I didn't do that. Well, I don't know who did it, but somebody did it. Is Cocaine Bear on your lot right now? Crappy equipment, no insurance, way outside the ETA, causing new vehicle damage. Who knows what else? Crazy. And I'll turn this around. The remarketer, the driver. Do you guys know each other's business? No. Why would you? Nobody talks about it. This is why in Ty's presentation he talked about the get-rich-quick clickbait YouTubers. All they do is talk about getting rich. Nobody talks about this stuff. Who are you hauling for and why? What is going on in this industry? Right? Somebody knows. And here we go. She put up a comment. Let's see, where's the... let me move my face here. You better talk about greedy brokers when they take $300 to $500 only for booking and drivers haul it coast to coast for $800 to $1,000. Is that normal? As for the carriers who don't have insurance, that's their job to ask for insurance and ratings. And she says, I know you will delete this comment, but at least you will read it. Well, I will tell you. ATI is different in so many ways, and one of them is, I'm not deleting that comment. I think it's a good comment. Because if you are collecting $500 per vehicle, just because you have that relationship, I don't know, man. That might be a lot. If the carrier's tapping out at $1,000 for doing all the work. I'm just saying, I can see both sides. Thank you for the comment, Layla. I appreciate it. Fuel, time, traffic, insurance, inspecting cars, dealing with the DOT. Oh my gosh. That alone will make you nuts. Boy, what if everybody's sitting at their desk right now on the phone, had to deal. DOT comes in. Well, you know, this desk is a mess. That phone ain't right. I'm gonna need you to actually just, I don't know what call you're on. You need to hang up the phone. Come with me. We're gonna go down the hall, and we're gonna do some burpees. Okay. I mean, but seriously, technology issues, missing information, hunting down cars, hunting down people, hunting down payment. Is it really that easy to be a carrier? Heck no. So I had some experts up on the stage. Joe Burkari, Midwestern Car Carriers, fantastic gentleman, so knowledgeable. John Larrick's Long Distance Transport, fantastic gentleman, up on stage. There they are. Look at that stuff. Up on stage. There's ATIs, and there's that slide in the background. It was great. And then Dan Kennedy and John Robertson were in the audience with Ty and a few others. If you want to watch it, what you do is go to the homepage. Just go to YouTube, ATI Auto Business homepage. And, you don't have the link? Here, I'll get you the link. I'll get you the link. I'll juice you up. There we go. In the live chat. The link. And you can see it right there. Click on YouTube, ATI Auto Business. And, it's not there yet? Wait for it. There it is. Okay. So it's below the Tuesday night shows. That first Transportation Dumpster Fire, that's Ty. I got the whole recording. The internet was dicey, of course. So got the first 20 minutes of my presentation, and then about 25 minutes of Joe and John. And it's pretty interesting stuff. You can check it out. Version 1. It'll be so cool. In 5 years, that footage will be gold. So, here we go. Here's the comment. And this is good, because this made me... I got this before I went on stage. Hey, Jay, I watched Ty up on the podium. I have to disagree with what he's putting out there. Some of it is true, but some of it is misinformation. I got a 3-4 car hauler. I live here in the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, PA. There are cars everywhere here. I gross $5 to $8 grand a week running these leans every week, depending on how hard I run. See, Ty made a comment about the YouTube clickbaiters that you're going to make 10 grand a week. By the way, what does make 10 grand every week mean? Actually, one guy, I don't know what he's saying. He's grossing 20 grand every week. I'm sorry, not grossing. See, I didn't mean to use those calculator words. No, he says make. He makes 20 grand a week. Well, what does make mean? Is that gross? Is that net? Is that, under the mattress I keep 20, but out of the mailbox goes 30? I mean, what are we talking about? But let me read on. You guys are in the Midwest, and the inventory out there cannot compare to the market in the metro New York, New Jersey, PA area. That is correct. You're totally right. We failed to be specific. For the sake of time, Anyways, we have at least 6 ports within 100 miles, multiple rail yards, 7 auctions, etc. And I love this. See, the thing here is you understand the automotive ecosystem. I don't think everybody that watches the get-rich-quick clickbait does. And they're your 1.72 years of existence car haulers. And then he throws in a couple things about ACV. But what are you going to do? So, the thing is, here we go. Look, you see the date on this? March 23rd. This is 11 days ago. You see this all the time. All right, let's take a look. What's your guess? Who wants to guess that was the only vehicle on that trailer? And by the way, that's set up, you know what I'm saying. Here, let's do this. Here we go. Hey! What's up, Mark? Thank you so much. Sending the likes, sharing the love for ATI. Really do appreciate it. So, how did this move work out? This 23 cents a mile deal. I mean, I'm speculating live. But, let's take a look. Oh, okay, there you can tell. Yep. Nothing on the back, just as we suspected. Top heavy. Thanks for playing. Flip of the week. Now, there is nothing funny about this. It's tragic. But how did they not know that, I mean, you know, well, okay, you have two. 2 out of 3, but still, there should have been something over the axles. This isn't, all right. Hey, I'm not the expert, clearly. That's why we have Brian Riker on Wednesdays, monthly. We have a show tomorrow. Don't be the flip of the week. Come on, man. I'll tell you what, let's roll the video. You got to see this. You want to see this? Here we go.
You know where the car is? Is Cocaine Bear on your lot right now? Crappy equipment, no insurance, way outside of the ETA, causing new vehicle damage. Who knows what else? You know, I know of a major broker that had a guy that had to get a vehicle moved. This was an important move. And the guy shows up. I guess he had been drinking. He starts hitting other cars on the lot. That really happened. That was a few weeks ago. Does anybody know?
All right, so do me a favor. Please do send in your comments. autotransportintel@gmail.com. My name is Jay, and we'll take it to the streets. What should we be talking about on stage? We want to know from you. What isn't happening? And how do you get your car shipping business news? It's here. It's on ATI. And you know what we do? Every Tuesday night. That's right, step right up. We got 5 new questions. That's right, step right up. Boy, we're running a little late tonight. That's okay. I think we're heavy on the first half. Okay. Question 1. What is cybersecurity? Is it a 2020 action-packed role-playing video game developed by CG Project Red? The practice of protecting websites, emails, and social media accounts? The practice of protecting systems, networks, and data from digital attacks? Or the rulebook for the digital guardians of the internet? What is cybersecurity? A game. Protecting accounts, websites, emails. Protecting systems, networks from attacks. Or a rulebook for the digital guardians of the internet. Cybersecurity is the practice of protecting systems, networks, and data from digital attacks. That's what cybersecurity is. Question 2. Nice job, Sanan. Thank you. What cyber threat do companies, including transporters, need to worry about the most? Malware, phishing, social engineering, or all of the above? Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. No? Is it 3? Really? We got the wrong answer? Do we have our fact checker? Yeah. Yeah, ATI has we have a paid position. That's all they do. Fact checking. It's very Oh, Ty's the fact checker? Oh, great. Oh, you've got D, all of the above. Excellent. Right. Malware, phishing, social engineering. Right. What's social engineering? That's a good one. Social engineering is always great. Right. Malware, right, like Trojan horse. Phishing, like, fake, clickable, don't click it, fake stuff. And then social engineering. Hey, buddy. Hey. Listen, I know a barrister in Algeria, and they just found like $20 million. All right, here we go. Question 3. What is Repo Summit? Is it a mountain of in-op cars? An annual 2-day conference hosted by the American Recovery Association? A pile of unclaimed money from redemptions? Or where lenders and agents conspire and argue? You can see that one on the website. Repo Summit. Did you go to reposummit.com? The answer is there. It's right there. It's an open book test. I'm giving you the answer. Oh, it's not in a mountain of in-op cars? I thought for sure that's what Repo Summit was. Hey! I'm proud. Okay. Question 4. What is the most common cyber-related car shipping question? Is my customer data adequately safeguarded? Are drivers' backgrounds checked? Has the transporter had a cyber incident before? Does the transportation company have cyber insurance? The most common cyber-related car shipping question. Oh, Renee, you didn't guess Mountain of in-op cars? What about pile of redemption money? Most common cyber-related car shipping question is... Is my customer data adequately safeguarded? Right? Client data, customer data, account data. All right, here we go. Question 5. We have one more. Thank you so much, everybody. Love the participation. Really, really love it. Have you already left a like? Don't miss out. There's not many likes left. They're going fast. Got to work it into like a... And you'll get Copper Pot. Okay. Question 5. What is the most common way cyber criminals gain access to sensitive data? Email phishing scams tricking users into sharing login credentials? Ooh. Malware that is installed on a user's computer device? Ah. Social engineering techniques that manipulate users into revealing info? Eek. And fake accounts created by cyber criminals to gain access? No. Wow, this one's hard. What is the most common way cyber criminals gain access? Email phishing scams, malware, social engineering techniques, or fake accounts? Wow. This one I'm not coughing this one up. I'm not giving this answer till we got 15 likes. Okay. That would be awesome. Like, I've seen that. I saw a guy doing a show where he'd start up the show and he'd be like, well, nobody's here yet. Okay, well, we're just going to wait a few more. I think it's in a lot of those kinds of shows. It's weird. Even if nobody's here, I'm doing the show. Okay, most common way cyber... Okay, so Melissa has social engineering. Right? Oh, Amy, I thought the prince and the barrister were totally on my side. I mean, why wouldn't they be? Okay. Zach and Carlos both have email phishing scams, tricking users into sharing login credentials. That's okay. Social engineering, manipulating users, email phishing scams. Okay, that's good. Anybody else? What about nobody's got malware and nobody's got fake accounts? I don't see it on there yet. Oh, I'm still reading it. That's why. You were hogging the screen, Jay. Oh, man, look at that. We're one like away from actually moving on forward in the show. We'll be trapped here. You're like a whirlpool when you're in the, the inner tube. We're trapped in the whirlpool. Now we're going to be fine. Here we go. Ready? Oh, pins and needles. Is it email phishing or social engineering? Show me email phishing. It is email phishing. Email phishing scams are the most common way because they get you to click on stuff. Man, don't click on that, man. Like, there's a bunch of money from PayPal, or whatever. Don't click on that, dude. Don't do that. Be careful what you click. All right, here we go. We came so close. All right, here we go. It's halftime here, so do me a favor. Stick around. We'll be right after this for Industry News Part 2. Thanks. Ship Your Car Now presents Integrated Automotive Transportation Solutions. When your car buying customers are on your dealership website shopping for vehicles, they can easily find an instant shipping quote. By entering simple information, first name, last name, email, and phone number, delivery zip, delivery state, and clicking the button, Get Your Shipping Quote. Choose from express shipping and close transport, and proceed to checkout. Review the order summary. Enter the delivery street address and city and click Next. Simply enter your credit card information just like any other online shopping cart. And when you are ready, click Review your shipping order. Check your shipping order one more time and choose Proceed to Checkout. Your delivery is all set. If you want to ship your car now, go to Ship Your Car Now. Ship Your Car Now provides a full suite of vehicle shipping services for all types of businesses. That's why Ship Your Car Now offers trusted carriers, good paying loads that pay fast. Visit shipyourcarnow.com. Links in the live chat. Thank you so much, everybody. All right, here we go. It is now time. But yeah, we loaded up the first half. That's okay. Right on time for the weekly pulse here on ATI dealerships. This is Ty's favorite topic. And everybody's talking about Lithia. Automotive News reports acquisitions propel Lithia to list top spot. Lithia Motors' buying spree has outpaced AutoNation, which fell for the first time since 1997. Lithia Motors, once the smallest publicly traded dealership group before embarking on a multi-year dealership buying spree, past longtime number one, AutoNation. Wow. That's huge. And it's all over the place. Even car dealership guys got it. Lithia Motors has officially claimed the top spot as largest dealer group in the U.S. That means there's a lot of cars moving back and forth between Lithia's 296 dealerships. Who's got that account? Plus, they have their own technology. Might want to find out more about Lithia Driveway. 679,000 plus total units sold. What? 28 trillion in total revenue? Holy cow. That's crazy. That's crazy. Wow, I wonder if the U.S. government can borrow money from Lithia Motors. They're probably going to try. Okay, let's keep going. Automotive News put out a top 150 dealerships groups. I'm not going to share the whole thing, but here we go. Here's the front page. Top 5 dealership groups nationwide. Lithia Motors takes over AutoNation. Penske's number 3rd. Group 1 Automotive. Asbury Automotive. And you know you've seen Sonic. Look at that. Sonic took over Hendrick. So that's your top 7. Well, they got the phone numbers and the directors and everything. Wow, that's pretty cool. Well, it's too bad you're not a member of Automotive News. You're welcome. Tesla reports 422,000 plus deliveries for the first quarter of 2023. Let's see how that stacks up to last quarter, which is searchable. You can search anything. Q4 2022, they had a few more in Q4 2022, but that's pretty consistent. 400,000 plus production and deliveries each quarter. It's pretty good. Good job, Tesla. Now, here's the really fascinating news. Speaking of cybersecurity, Tesla Model 3 was hacked by a cybersecurity team in minutes. What? Researchers from French cybersecurity firm Synactive won $350,000 and a new Tesla Model 3 at a security conference by hacking into the gateway and infotainment subsystems of the vehicle in minutes. Dude, nice job, fellas. Researchers from French cybersecurity firm Synactive won $350,000. We mentioned that during the Pawn to Own something, I don't know, 2023 hacking conference held in Vancouver. They were able to, the ethical hackers, by the way, were able to fully compromise the electric vehicle, gaining control of its safety systems and breaking into its infotainment system. That is awesome. They had 10 minutes to attempt 3 hacks, and they got it. They even replaced Tesla's logo with theirs. Doge. That's awesome. Nice job. I found that, just saw this on an article today. The average vehicle now has between 70 to 100 electronic control units, ECUs, and the higher computing power and integration require over 100 million lines of software code. A Boeing 787 only has 14 million lines of code. Huh. Okay. So that's the modern car. Highly hackable. one could say. So this was sent in today. Today. I'm just reading this. I apologize if this makes somebody feel bad, but this is news. Warning. And I don't know who created this. I did not create this. I am reading it. Scam account on Central Dispatch under West Coast Carriers LLC. CA only. All fake info on Central and just stole a few cars from Mannheim. That's what it says. I hear that this is news. I'm merely reporting and reading. Thank you. This has been a public services announcement. Central, but I put out, see, and I did this. I put this show out. I put this podcast out. Again, this has been a public services announcement. Lawyers and blah, 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 blah. Okay? So, I don't know, man. If you see this is an ATI podcast. We are trying to be helpful. We're apologizing for all the tears. It's ATI Auto Business. We're here to help. Call or text Ty. Send him your fax. You might email to beep him at 417-483-2764. We're inside the app on AVC Dealer, Auction v Commerce Dealer app. Get it in the App Store, Google Play. Hey, put ATI inside of your app. Join us on Wednesdays for live carrier advice. That's with Brian. We're going to be live again tomorrow at noon for 30 minutes. We're going to be talking about, I think, broker transparency. And then Thursday, we are turning over a new leaf. Guess what? We are no longer doing thermonuclear Thursdays. We are going to change our tune. There's a lot to do. And in fact, hack or no hack. We're going to continue the hack conversation on Thursday. RunBuggy will be there with us. And, yeah, man, the news is cranking up. Wow. Cars in the Move, dealers, auctions, and carriers every Friday. This Friday, Ty's going to be live at NARS Repo Summit 2023. And, yeah, we're going to go live. We're going to go live on Friday from Orlando at the Repo Summit. That's going to be cool. We have friends from the Repo bunch that are there, and that's one of the reasons why we're excited to be there. And help us help you. That's the whole point. We want to be a part of the solution. North American Repossessors Summit in Orlando. What is it? Find out about it. Visit reposummit.com. And in fact, oh, that's so cool. On Friday, boy, oh boy. If Ty hurts your feelings, then you're going to have to get used to it. He's going to be on a panel Friday afternoon at Repo Summit. The Transport Crisis, Navigating the Economics Behind Transport. Well done, Ty. He's going to be up there. That's going to be awesome. And thank you, Location Services. Yes, we are there because of Location Services. Thank you so much. Jose Delgado, our friend. Thank you, buddy. By the way, Location Services is hiring. Look at all that. Skip rep, client team rep, post-recovery, locksmith, titles, billing, staff, software, talent. Location Services. Visit, let's put the Location Services. I'm putting the link in the live chat. If you want to learn more, visit their website. Thank you so much. Please do that. Also, next month, oh, that's this month already? Wow. In a few weeks, Ty is going to be at Auto Intel Summit in Raleigh. Don't know what it is? Ask us. We'll tell you. Should you be there? Maybe. Let us know what you're looking for, what you do. Who do you want to network with? Man, this is getting crazy. And this is cool. Super Dispatch is going to be there. And they're going to be on the panel, Transparency in Transportation, Oxymoron or Future. Stan from Super Dispatch will be on the panel. Guess who else will be on the panel? Ty Thompson. Pretty cool stuff. Thank you, John Robertson. Ship Your Car Now. This is going to get crazy. And now we're working on Digital Dealer. So, Digital Dealer, that's in May. Got some cool stuff happening there. We're all over the place. Hey, next week, Rapid Recon. That is the Tuesday night show. Oh, it's 7:50. Man, we're right on time. Rapid Recon next Tuesday night. It is the Car Shipping Business Channel. And as I like to say, We don't ship cars, we move information. Leverage ATI in your business. Let us know how we can help. Education, advertising, promotion, information, demos, panel discussions, live shows, and now on stage. Wow, that's pretty cool. All right, let's do this. Do me a favor, stick around, because right after this, we're going to be live with Ty, and you won't want to miss it. Be right back. Ship.Cars, intelligent car shipping made simple. Auctions and dealerships get ready to modernize drive-away dispatching. As part of the auction experience, Ship.Cars now offers drive-away to help shippers dispatch small loads with ease. Moving single vehicle loads typically requires a lot of time, paperwork, and phone calls. With drive-away, shippers create loads in LoadMate Pro and dispatch directly to drivers, who are notified automatically, eliminating manual calls and paper dispatch. Once the load is in transit, shippers receive progress updates until delivery. Ship, dispatch, track, and deliver single vehicle loads for auctions and dealerships. LoadMate Pro, shipper platform. Visit Ship.Cars. Ship.Cars, auctions and dealerships modernize driveway dispatching with intelligent car shipping tech. Ship, dispatch, track, and deliver with LoadMate Pro shipper platform. Visit Ship.Cars. Thanks so much. Let's do this here. We're going to bring in Ty in here in a second. Oh, there he is. He's coming in. Okay, perfect. Thanks for jumping in the live chat. Thanks for leaving the likes. Do appreciate it. What we're going to do is I'm going to hang out with Ty for a few minutes and just talk about the show from last week before we bring in Max. Also, I'm going to find that, Ty, I know you wanted to talk about that one slide. Let me find that for you. And, yeah, that flip of the week, too. That's too bad. We're live. It's Tuesday night. I'm searching for a slide. It's no big deal. All right, I found it. All right, cool. So we'll bring in Ty here in a second. He'll be live with us. Again, thank you for jumping in the live chat. Oh, Melissa says, new fear unlocked. That's pretty funny. And I missed some of the live chat. I had to click like. Oh, yeah, Sanan, thanks for doing that. And great guesses on the game show. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, please do help me wish a warm welcome to my co-host, my friend, Ty Thompson. What's up, Ty?
Not a lot. Can you hear me okay?
Not a lot. I can see you. I can hear you.
Whoa.
So, man, wow. What a week, dude. I saw you all week.
Yeah, we made it.
Yeah, I know, we made it. And it was, I mean, the weeks leading up to, share some thoughts.
Weeks leading up to the conference?
Yeah, I mean, how long have we been working on this?
Yeah, we worked on it quite a while. And you know, you said it, you pointed out good. That it was a really good learning experience for me, for sure. I think you agree.
Oh, gosh, for both of us.
Yeah, really great. But beside that, can you pull that slide back up again? The one.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do that.
Okay.
And I got it ready for you because I knew you wanted to talk about it. All right, here we go. Take it away.
Yeah. I really don't know where to go with this exactly, but one of the things that I really want to point out, so I've got my youngest daughter, all my kids have their own business, but I was having lunch today with my youngest daughter. She's entering in her first year as an esthetician. She owns her own business. She's made it a year. She's booked out, blah, blah, blah. So as we're talking, I said, do you remember, this is a real good question. Do you remember several years ago, the average life expectancy of a business? If you make it past 5 years, you did it. You're in. You remember that?
You know, I do. In restaurants, they say like 80% go away within the first year, 90 before a second year. If you made it to 2 years, you have a really good chance of staying in business. And it seems like, is this harsher than that?
Oh, gosh. Well, and this is, you know, so this, I've got a lot of questions. And one of the questions that I would love to know, anybody in the audience that might have this data, how many carriers were on the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration authority. How many car haulers do we really have? That's what I'm trying to say. How many do we really have? Does anybody know?
So this is another interesting area where, you know, what we wow, I think I'm having deja vu at the moment, because one of the things we talk about is we see information and then we question it and share it. Really, I am having deja vu. We haven't done this before, right? No. Feels like it. Okay. Well,
keep going. But
no,
I got to
take it away.
Remember our buddy Shaggy?
Yeah.
Okay. The reason I want to share this one today is because I don't know how many carriers there are. Shaggy, for anybody that doesn't know, Shaggy's like the freight guy. Okay. If you want to know anything freight, call Shaggy. Well, the thing about it is that I was talking to Shaggy today. Shaggy said from Friday to today, 4,000 MC numbers are gone. 4,000.
Wait, what?
From Friday? Yeah, real story. Shaggy knows this because he's plugged into the whole thing.
So for anybody that doesn't know, Shaggy has his finger on the pulse of freight trucking, which makes car hauling look like a real small ecosystem, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I think 1 out of 10 trucks on the road, 1 out of 10 is a car hauler. 9 out of 10 is a dry van or a flatbed or a step deck or a reefer, right? I think that's about right. Could be 1 out of 20. Okay, how many what?
MC numbers, right? 4,000. So he follows this. Like, this is his life.
Whoa.
And this is what he does. So he had a car hauler guy call. Oh, you know what it was? It was Sun Country. This guy's calling and trying to find out how to haul Sun Country car hauler trailers. So somehow he ends up with Shaggy. Shaggy's like, I don't know anything about car hauler trailers, call Ty. So we're all on a three-way call, and I'm like, I don't think you can do what you're talking about. So this conversation shifts to, hey, Shaggy, by the way, I tell him this statistic, right? I share with him the slide that you just had up. And he's like, yeah, there's a real problem, Ty. The carriers are going away. They're leaving, and they're not coming back. So I'm sitting here at this conference, okay, back to the conference, back to real life, back to what are we talking about. I'm just telling anybody watching this, it's time to get to know the carrier very well. It really is. It's time for your company, your organization. I don't care if you're a dealer, I don't care if you're auction, a broker, technology, port. It's time to get to know the carrier and find out how to become the bumper rails at the bowling alley to get this guy from the start to the finish. It's going to be real important. So, Mike Buchanan, I know I'm hurrying. Mike Buchanan.
No, you're good.
He makes a post on LinkedIn, and it's the Holman gang on the ground at the auction. Okay? For real. The Holman gang, whatever they are. Holman Remarketing, right? We know that it used to be ARI, but I think they changed it, rebranded it back to Holman. So 1.9 million vehicles in their remarketing funnel. That's a lot of vehicles. Why are they at the auction? What are they doing, right? And this goes back to solutions. ATI has solutions. So if you're having a problem getting your cars picked up, you're having a problem finding out where the carriers are, call ATI. Leverage ATI. We can help you. And one of the freebies that I gave at the conference is if you're an auction, why aren't you doing a semi-annual, quarterly, some kind of carrier event, right? Start pushing that out there at the guard check. We're having a big party on Friday. We want you all to come. Bring your trucks, bring your trailers. We're going to have a dealer. We're going to have a Recon. We're going to have an auction guy, and we're going to show you what a gate pass is. Simple, basic stuff. Get to know the carrier. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
Well, and no, that's great stuff. Because the thing is, and we're going to bring in Max here in a second. Max, go ahead and get your microphone ready because you're up next here, buddy. But one of the things I want to work into my next presentation is I think I want to try to even out. This is what the driver's going through. This is what the client expects the driver to know, which is tough to do. So, I mean, I'm already, I don't know about you, but I'm already like, okay, I'm going to cut here, do this, do that, which is a wonderful thing. The only way to get to version 2 is to do version 1.
Yeah.
The only way to get to version 3, etc. I mean, if we keep tightening the nuts on this thing, whoa.
Wow. Yeah.
It's
It'll
gonna
be
be
good.
awesome.
And,
Yeah.
and it was great. So again, thanks Car Conference. Thanks
Yes,
Martin
thank
Rumsey.
you.
Thank you,
Yes.
Tony Long, IARA. Now,
Yes,
wait till you hear what's
amazing.
coming up next.
Wow.
All you car hauler guys, listen to me. We're going to start promoting IARA membership, and we're going to really push get CAR, C-A-R certified. If you want to be a carrier, you're new in this game, this is the ticket. Jay and I spent a lot of time with Tony Long in figuring this out. We figured out how to become a member. We figured out the cost to become a member. And we know for under $2,000 right now, for under $2,000, you can become CAR certified. No joke. It's 20 modules. And you probably know half of it. And it's probably open book.
Ask us why. Because we want to make sure, right? We want to make sure that we've got the information we need to get to you. Because we know this is a great program. The thing is, we can't, I don't know if we can guarantee what it'll do for you. But this is one of the few programs that will help you grow your business. If you can't, I will say this. If you take all 20 modules and you can't grow your business, you should get out of automotive. How about that?
I would.
You think
fair.
Tony would stand by that, I would think.
I think Tony would say, yeah, maybe.
Right?
Here you go. And you know, we got Melissa and what was her sister's name? I always forget.
Adriana.
Adriana.
And I think they're here in the live chat. I think
Melissa
that
was
Melissa's
in the live
hitting
chat.
bell. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. It's neat.
So,
It's really neat.
I want to hear who they met, who did they talk to, what did they get out of it, right?
We
I mean,
should
bring
see if
them in on a Friday for
one of them should get car certified and just school the crowd.
It's crazy. But anyway,
yeah.
that's where I'm going. There is a value, there is a benefit. And for me, okay, are you going to get more cars? You're going to make $10,000 a week now, Ty? Probably not. But you are in a group of people that are very well connected, and you need this information. You really do. You need to understand your customer if you're going to transport cars.
Okay.
It's very important.
And that's exactly where, I mean, that's, people say rubber in the road and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Man, if you, I've got some stuff on Thursday to share, like guys still talking about boycotting the load boards, boycotting brokers. Man, just get to know the customer and end the war.
Yeah. In the war, there's no reason for it.
I mean, I know that's a weird thing to say, and Jay, it's easy for you to say, but man, I don't know. Yeah. All right.
So overall, great opportunity, and we got to hang out with the RunBuggy guys. I got to hang out with I met Kevin, the president, CEO of RunBuggy.
We had him on Tuesday night, last Tuesday night.
I was standing right beside. I got to hang out with him
That's
after
neat.
the deal and talk to him. So anyway, that's great.
Joel Kennedy's in the live chat.
Hey, Joel.
I think that's Kelly from OAV, I believe. And I'll tell you, here's the thing. I think some people be like, hey, guys, don't tell all the guys to get to know the customer. That's what we do.
Yeah, sure. Stop saying that out loud.
If you really want to get them back, get to know the customer.
Exactly. But so here's the beautiful thing, broker guys. Don't worry about it, because here's what happens. Because of this show, because of ATI, the platform, call Ty, 417-483-2764. Tell him what you're trying to figure out. He'll help you out. So used to, when we first started this, it was just go talk to the car dealer, just go hang out at the auction. It's changed. It's evolving, right? So I talked to the individual.
Well, you guys are flip-floppers. You change?
I do. We change.
I know, me too.
I'm here to be the bumper rails at the bowling alley. I don't want you in the ditch flipped over like that picture we just saw, right? That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to get you to where you can survive more than 1.72 years.
Dude, that's right. Oh, nice. If this is day one, you got 1.72.
The clock is ticking.
If you can't make that, man, we want to hear from you. We want you to make it past 1.72. Yeah.
I didn't tell you this. One of my biggest joys that I got out of this conference we just came back from, this is crazy, dude. I walk in, there's Joe Beccari, John Lyric, John Robertson exchanging lane information. I need help over here. Oh, really? Well, I need help over here. Oh, really? Well, I have cars here that you can help me with. I walked right into that. That is what is going to get the carrier to the bowling alley, to the pins. You follow me?
I do, and you know what? It's
It was
neat.
amazing.
I stood in that same. It was probably the same hallway, right outside the rooms, outside the sessions, with Joe and John for extended period of time, and John literally was like, "I gotta start coming to more of these," and that's what we keep
John
saying. That there's, I sound like we're sprinkling holy water or something. Like this can't be true, right? But it is. It's weird. I tell Sue, I'm like, it will change your life by going to one of these shows. You'll never be the same.
It is valuable.
Ask
And
Maranatha Works.
Yeah.
Ask Melissa and Adriana in the live chat if they'll ever be the same after going to car conference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And how do you explain that?
Well, you explain it with a word that starts with an R. I believe it's called relationship. That's how you explain it.
Relationships. There it is.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this.
Good. Thank you, everybody.
Really good
really
stuff. Yeah, that was amazing. Okay, here, let's do this. Here we go. Camera one. Let's bring in Max. Max, go ahead and get your microphone set. Get your camera ready. We're gonna we got a presentation, and we always run a little bit late. It's no problem at all. We got about another hour. We're gonna be here, but with this segment is we got Max, about 10-minute-ish presentation. Then we'll bring in Jason and Casey, but we want to start with Max. Okay, here we go. First time on ATI. Please do help me wish a warm welcome. Max, can you see us and hear us okay?
Yes, can you see and hear me?
We can see you. We can hear you. Please do say hello and tell us a little bit more about you.
Yeah, hello everyone, and thanks Jay for having me. My name is Max Graupner. I'm the VP of Security and Audit at RunBuggy. So I basically deal with everything cybersecurity related for the company.
Excellent. All right, so we have a bit of we're going to have a conversation about cybersecurity. I mean, you eat, sleep, and breathe cybersecurity, right?
Basically, yeah. I mean,
yeah. What
yeah,
does that look? What does that look? Tell us a little more about like what what is your world like?
Yeah, I mean, interesting, right? Because so my background is more in the financial services. Spent a lot of years consulting and building security programs, sort of in a heavily regulated industry. Coming to automotive and automotive transportation, right? It's a whole different animal. Transportation industry is probably a little bit of a lagger when it comes to cybersecurity. And then you're sort of in a niche here with car transportation, vehicle transportation, right? So very interesting, but a lot of things happening. Regulators are starting to pay attention to what's going on, right? You are dealing with vehicles that are now connected devices, lots of technology in those cars. And then obviously, with the online auctions popping up, home deliveries, transporters bringing cars to, end consumers at homes with their addresses, their names, lots of information. So the game has changed. It's a good time to be in it, and it's great to be part of it.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. So, right, personal data, which we know, like privacy for cars. Are you familiar with that?
Yes.
You ever heard of yeah? Andrea of Privacy for Cars. He's the founder. He's very visible at Car Conference, the IARA, really everywhere. Yeah. I think he's even involved in Repo Summit, maybe. Anyways, point is, but the data in the vehicle. Now I'm gonna bench that, couch it for a second, because if we look at like transportation and logistics, let's talk about what's front and center for us, and that would be our accounts, right? And in this arena, and I'm spitballing here, but I mean, this is what we see and hear and know, is that, like, if it's the Wild West when we book loads and do whatever, and technology's pretty new in this sector, what's it going to be like for a hacker to go ahead and figure out how to hack this system? Is it going to be that hard?
I mean, right, so there is the quote-unquote just the system or the processes, right? I mean, picking up a car, delivering it, and everything that kind of goes with that, right? And how you could maybe social engineer your way into that and take advantage of, saying, hey, I'm Jay, I'm picking up the car, and trying to get money out of that process, right? That's just good old fraud, right? That's probably been around for a while. But as you move to the digital, marketplaces and technology, it's open to anybody. Now somebody from a different country can do it, right? They can try to interject themselves into that path, try to get money out. And so you have a much broader, what we call attack vector, or attack surface, right? And then there's the technology itself, that could be compromised, just like any technology, right? You hear about breaches, hacks. It's not any different in our industry, right? There's the technology that could be susceptible to issues and breaches.
So, I like the way you kind of break this down. That's why we really wanted to talk to you. This is great. Straight up fraud. It seems like we've already talked about that on a Thursday on Dispatching Live, where I don't know how it happened, but somebody pretended to be somebody else, collected money, got the car, right? That's just that. I say hacking, and I'm thinking of Neo and the bullet time.
Right.
But this is just straight up simple
just a
fraud.
straight up impersonation, right?
Man,
like,
there you go. So that's
it's online now.
Okay.
Right. And it's a little bit easier online now because just like, somebody trying to hack into your social media account and trying to be you, that's what's happening here, right?
At the same time, we have also heard, we had a guest on that was talking about, like, this guy was definitive that his account had been hacked. And I'm asking the question, I mean, how? What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Do we, can you take us further on what we could be talking? I don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, right there is the individual compromise. So if just assuming this is not an assessment or anything like that, but if the user has malware on their machine, it's unrelated, and they get a hold of their password, right? And then they just use that or try to get into that user's account. So it could be very contained to that user and may not have anything to do with that specific software solution that they're using for the transportation, right? Or for their load board. So it could just be a byproduct of something already going on with that person, right? Or it could be something very targeted. It could be something very targeted to that solution or technology. So it depends. The answer will depend, and that's why I have a job, right? That's why you send your security team out to kind of hunt and investigate and find out what's really going on. But it could be a number of things. It's tough to say at face value.
I know
who is being hacked. Right?
As I say, we're speculating live, but thank you we're just having a conversation here. So let's do this. I've got 3 slides here. Okay? Right? That you shared. Do you want to tell us more about, right? Because this is the world where you spend time and explain how. Well, take it away. What are you explaining here?
Yeah, this was really meant as a sort of like let's get back to the basics and what are we talking about when we're talking about cybersecurity in our space, right? At the high level, right, you have the car manufacturers that want to get cars to the consumers, to the vehicle owner, and have people enjoy and drive the vehicles, right? But as as we all know, it's not that simple. There's a lot of entities in between that make that happen. You have dealerships, you have private sellers, you have everything kind of going on. And then on the left side, as we kind of now see with regulation and what's going on in the marketplace, what do the OEMs care about? Well, they care about vehicle cybersecurity, right? And that's also the company that you mentioned there with the privacy in mind. That's really an emerging field. And that's really important to make sure that not just anybody can hack into your vehicle, right? You have a brand new vehicle that you want to enjoy. You don't want it to get hacked. And then on the right side, you have obviously the vehicle owner that cares about all of this, but they also have their personal information that they might provide to any of these entities, right? You want to get the car from A to B. I want it delivered to my home. Hopefully it doesn't get repossessed, but it might be, right? So there's all this data floating around. So at the end of the day, what is cybersecurity in this space really about? And the way we look at it, it's about the asset, which is the vehicle, and the data that surrounds it, right? So it's the asset, the vehicle, and the data that kind of makes up everything cybersecurity related. That's what we're trying to protect.
All right, cool. So then we go to the second slide. Now you've got more. Oh, I just moved it. What? Tell me more about this information, please.
Yeah, these are just some trends as we see them, as I see them. I'm part of the Auto ISAC, which is an automotive cybersecurity sharing forum. We're part of STAR, which is a standard setter for dealerships. So we're part of the cybersecurity forums and sharing forums as part of automotive transportation. And these are just some things that we hear, see, we talk to our customers about.
Just stay
so
informed,
one kind of mentioned that already, but regulators, the government is starting to get interested in what is going on with automotive and automotive. We heard many car manufacturers, OEMs, talk about that it's not just a car anymore. It is a connected device. So that's really interesting to think about, right? You're not, so for you car transporters, you're not just transporting a car anymore. You're now transporting connected devices. And I think that's really interesting to think about. And we're convinced that regulation will guide this journey and will have impact on the supply chain and the transportation of these vehicles and making sure that everything is safe.
Well, right, and then you've got, like I see on there, the BOLs. I mean, since everything's connected, you got your mobile apps and your TMS, and the loads were on the load board. I guess even the load board information is going to have to be more secure in the future, and
exactly,
this is getting fascinating.
Yeah, it really is. I think it's if you are a security professional, I think this is a really interesting field to be a part of right now because. Like I said, it's been somewhat maybe lagging behind more regulated industries, but now that we have all these eyes on it, it's really picking up. And like you said, right, the connected devices, you're logging into apps, you're downloading apps. I mean, think about all that data, which it seems so simple, right? Pick up a car, drop it off, but everything that kind of goes with that and the data. The BOLs, like you said, the gate passes, the payment information, and then you also have communication maybe from the driver to the customers or dealerships, wherever the car is going, that might have sensitive information in them. So really interesting, lots to think about, and ultimately to protect.
I guess breaches in cybersecurity and data are the downside of all this progress digitally, but it's not like we're going to go back.
We're probably not going to go back. And if you think about it, right, now that we have breaches, that tells you there's something to breach. There's something for somebody to gain. There's something that they want, right? And that's probably also a little bit of a new concept because historically maybe there weren't that many eyes on it, but now there are.
And then, so do me a favor then. You've got this third slide. Tell us more about RunBuggy Hitch and your tech and how this all connects together between cybersecurity and all these features, please.
Right. Right. So really the main point there is on the left. What I was trying to show is that we have a very holistic approach to this, right? It's not just integrations. It's not just customer service, not just security, but it all comes together in sort of a full ecosystem, and we approach it just like any of our services, and Hitch is our solution to bring this all together, bring a seamless solution to our customers with security already built in and in mind. Obviously, that's why I have a job at RunBuggy, but we want to show that this is part of our solution, not just an afterthought.
Perfect. So let's do this. Let's go back to camera one. Go ahead and warm up the microphones. I didn't give you much heads up, Jason and Casey, but I'm going to bring you in now. We'll check in with the live chat while we're doing that. Repo Ryan is with us. Cool. We got NARS 2023 Energy coming up. Casey says car conference was great. And yeah, Melissa's saying it changed our perspective for sure. Okay, so let's go back. Here we go. Please do help me wish a warm welcome. He was on with us last Tuesday night. He's back again because we're talking about cybersecurity. We have Jason Kong and Casey Harmon.
Great
How
to
you
be
guys
back. Great, Jay. How are you?
Great.
Hey guys,
Taking the time.
good to see your faces again. I'm getting used to it. I like it.
Right. It's right. You're gonna get
Hey,
tired
guys.
of
Hey,
us.
Casey. You get tired of it. You can't get tired of trying. Hey, come
Just
on.
like everybody else. Do me a favor, Jason. We'll start with you, Jason. Please do say hello again for anybody that's not familiar. Just say hello to anyone in the audience that may not know who you are.
Great. Thanks, Jay. Thanks, everyone. Nice to see you folks and be a part of the show again. So, Jason Kong, I'm one of the senior vice presidents at RunBuggy. I work a lot, and my team works a lot with a lot of our big digitally facing customers. So, a lot of the .com companies that you see out there, a lot of the integration work that was required to partner up with some of these big companies, whether it's on that digital side or even some of the brick and mortar players out there. I know Max was just talking a lot about OEMs. A lot of them are stepping into areas where it's a digital first arena. So my team does a lot of that work and carries a lot of those relationships along.
Perfect. And Casey, please do the same. Please say hello.
Yes, hi. I'm Jason's counterpart, one of the other SVPs at RunBuggy. I work a lot with the lenders and the auctions, two more big entities that are part of that chain of custody of that connected asset that is the car. I don't know, Max, I liked your word, attack surface. I guess all of these entities with whom RunBuggy works to help move cars, they're all part of the attack surface because they could be, that's where a hacker could enter. Am I completely off base on that?
No, you got it.
I've never
So,
such.
no, really good. So, and Jason, you pointed out the OEM. Casey, you pointed out the auction. Because when you look at the ecosystem as a whole, it's interesting. We can easily get stuck in our cubicle looking at our task. But when you open it up and you look at how everything's connected, it's pretty incredible. So, all right, so we're here. We're talking about cybersecurity. Who wants to kick off a topic? What can we say? What do we want to do?
Well, I think one thing that I think especially Casey and myself have insight into as part of our everyday activities and the communications, the conversations that we have, we're talking to the biggest of the big, right? We're talking to the global names that are out there about not only what they're doing today, but as they look at things in the 5-10 year period. And their go-to-market, their strategy, it's all digital first, right? We asked if, hey, is this going to go back to how it was? It's not going to go back to how it was, right? So the conversations, just to be able to get in the door, start and really end with cybersecurity, right? So a scalable, secure platform that they can build around that gives them data and access to all the different pieces of their digital supply chain, connecting them all, it's really, really important. And so when you are a financial institution, which these captive lenders are, you have to have bank grade security at every single chain in the link. And that includes transportation, especially as transportation has evolved from just getting it from the dealer to the auction to now, as Max was talking earlier, getting into picking up from a home or delivering to a home, right? Or there's sensitive information that's either in the vehicle or with the customer's information. These publicly traded companies, right, whose reputation is at risk with not only their own key and core business, but all of their suppliers all throughout, are very, very risk averse when it comes to the space, right? So they want to partner up and work with companies like us, right? Toot our own horn here, who take this as seriously as they do for everything that they're building, right? So when we talk to these companies, and again, this is the insight that we share with this community here, right? It's not about, hey, can you move the car, in 8 hours versus 10 hours? Yes, that's important, but that's kind of table stakes. What's critically important here, the thing that gets you in the door and the thing that gets companies to continue the conversation, it's all about security, right, and scalability there. So that's really, really important. We know it's the individual independent owner operator or some of the small companies out there. It's tough to run a business. right? It's tough to operate, it's tough to run, it's tough to plan, it's tough to just navigate through everything that's competitive out there, running a business, let alone in transportation. And that's where we take the philosophy of, hey, we're a platform, we can do this for you. We've invested into the security so that the independent owner operator, the transport company, even some of the larger companies out there, they can do what they do best, which is focus on the customer moving the car, and we'll do the heavy technical lift.
It sounds to me like you're working hard to stay ahead of something that you see. You saw this early on. Max, you have something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we're in these conversations, and occasionally I join the sales team in customer-facing conversations, right? And you hear their security questions. I mentioned that I'm coming from a financial services background. That's what it reminds me of, right? Is those regulated questions. So, are the transporters doing ABC? Do they have that kind of security? Do they have a backup plan? What do they do, right? What do they do with our data? Very targeted questions that we were like, we want to build something that will not only last, but is scalable and will help transporters to continue to do business with the big, even with the biggest companies, because they're asking those questions.
Which I'm guessing is going to come up at Repo Summit. Is that right? That we hear CFPB and these different legal. Who wants to take that?
I think Casey should take that since he's at
NARS. He's going to be there. Yeah, go ahead, Casey.
Well, yeah, the CFPB has a farther reach with seemingly each passing year, although it did retract for a while there. What it reminds me of is the fact that, lending was sort of the last thing that the digitization models of selling cars online, it's the last thing that those early models thought about. I can sell a car online. Oh, wait, the customer needs a loan to be able to buy this darn thing. Not everyone has the cash lying around. So I think a lot of those early models scurried to get a good financing option brought into the transaction of someone buying a car on a Carvana type website. Well, we've advanced beyond that, and everyone feels comfortable, even the OEMs with the most staunch support of their very, very special dealer network. Even they are looking at driveway deliveries, driveway pickups, if not for their new cars, but certainly for their used and other parts of the cycle of the vehicle. So in the same way that lending had to digitize and expose itself to that regulation and that compliance, transport is going to undergo a similar process over the next 24, 36 months. And transporters, the folks out there driving on the highways, they're a key part of it. They're a node in the big system. And so, yes, we hear it as question number 1 through question 20 when we speak with large lenders, large OEMs. They want to make sure they're partnering with folks who have a transport network that's protected through all the ways that we rely on Max to lead us to do the right way.
I think as we're finding, like Ty, aren't you surprised at the level of regulation happening in a repossession agency business? And in transportation, we don't have that.
No, not at all. I mean, I got to go down to asset resolutions with Corey and Brianna Cox, and I got to stay at their house and spend 3 days repoing cars at night, right? I'm watching what they have to do, and I'm thinking, man, I thought I'm going back to transport. Yeah, it's crazy.
Surprise! It's here, Ty. Right? You may not see it or feel it, but it's here. Right.
Well, and here's why I'm happy to have you guys, because I'm sitting here, I'm listening to this, I'm thinking, okay, I know, and I always get in trouble, but we're having a hard time getting the guy to pick up the car on time, right? We're having a hard time getting the guy to answer his phone on the way. I'm talking about the transport guy, the carrier guy. We're having a hard time finding out why he was supposed to be here at 3 today, and nobody knows where this guy's at. So, Mike, I ran into Andre Amico. Casey, I'm sure you saw him there at the conference. This guy's pushing everything. He's standing there telling me, I think off camera, maybe on camera, I don't know, that the transport guy is now going to have some kind of responsibility for picking that car up. And I'm thinking, what? What? So walk us through what's that transport guy picking that car up, whether it be a repo yard, whether it be a dealer lot or an auction or even a POV. I mean, POV I kind of can maybe get a little more, but walk us through what does that really look like for the transport guy, what you guys are talking about, would you?
Well, I think the key thing is, regardless of the type of move, and you named a bunch of really good ones there, Ty, regardless of the type of move, the more stakeholders that have up to the minute or reasonably recent information about a vehicle and where it is and what has happened to it and what highways may have been blocked, shut down, or experiencing traffic, you got to keep everyone involved. And the more you can do that, the better for everybody who cares about the pickup time and the drop-off time of that vehicle. So give the folks driving the trucks the ability to, share what is happening in a real-time way if they need to do that.
What I'm saying is this, like Andre kind of scared me. Here's what I'm saying. He's talking like the transport guy is going to have some kind of responsibility for this data that's apparently in these cars. So I'll just be honest with you. I don't have a brand new car that isn't a device. So I'm trying to understand, because we talk to a lot of carriers.
And it could be a TBD, right? This could be a to be continued understanding.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
But I was thinking when Andre told me that, and that was Andre and I having a conversation, and I know how excited he gets about data in cars, and I'm thinking, okay, when we get to the pick up the car, or is the transport guy now responsible to make sure there's no data in the car?
Hopefully not. But yeah, anybody want to weigh in on that? Because I heard something like that too, and I was like, whoa, that's wild.
Yeah, Max, I don't know if you can weigh in on that. That's maybe his specific issue there. I don't know, Max, if you have any.
Yeah, so right, we as RunBuggy, we deal more with the transportation and the data that's surrounding the move. But if you're talking about specifically the asset or the vehicle, that was what I was trying to show in an earlier slide. And it's a subdivision of the U.S. Department of Transportation. They're very keen on understanding how these vehicles are being moved around from them being built to ultimately the end consumer, right? And are we saying, is there a chance that the government might say, hey, if you're transporting this, latest model with all the tech, that you got to make sure nobody can hack into it while you transport it? I think yes. I think that is a move that I could see them go, right? Yeah. Because if you think about it, if they're no longer calling the vehicle or car, it's a connected device, right? That sort of raises the stakes. It's not any different than, a supply chain of security cameras and somebody injecting something, right, to break into the feed. So I think that's how they're starting to think about it, the regulators. But I haven't seen anything in writing or any type of regulation that demands that. But I would not be surprised if that is sort of in the works.
Yeah, but just as it relates to today's environment, right? Where the transporter gets involved and what they're responsible for is protecting the data that is currently available to them, right? Which is the customer's information. And yes, the big companies are very concerned about that, right? They want to make sure it's limited, it's defined, and who has access to that, right? And just understanding where the car is getting picked up from, what's happening, where it's at, as Casey was alluding to, what's the status of the vehicle, and then making sure it's dropped off securely. So right now, the big focus is on that. So it's nice to think about and talk about the speculation of the connected vehicle itself. But for this community, I think it's really important because we're not necessarily there yet. Let's talk about how to protect the information that they currently have access to.
Well, and that's the thing is you're clearly considering the aspects ahead of you, but focused on what's at stake right now, and that's why we're having this conversation, because we're seeing it become more relevant.
What I'll do is I'll get with Andre next time I see him. I know I'll for sure see him at Raleigh, but if I see him down there, I'll get a hold of him and find out. I'll write it down, what he said. And then I like what Jay said, which was, this is to be continued. We get Max back with Andre, and we start talking. Because Andre was throwing down some Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration language. And
he does.
How does he even do that? That's crazy.
And this reminds me of a conversation also with the IARA. You can't get away from the regulation conversation, which is why we're talking about cybersecurity. And I don't. Here's the cool thing: it's episode 288 in a row, and I don't think we've had this conversation yet on ATI. Right? So the real applause button is thank you, gentlemen, for bringing this to our attention.
Thank you, RunBuggy.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. I mean, it's something that is not important until it's important. And let me tell you, especially given the topics and the conversations that you've helped facilitate over the past couple of weeks, right? It's a part of everyone's life, right? There's some sort of risk everywhere, and certainly when it comes to this community's livelihood, transporting cars, we want to make sure we're out there helping to protect people and educate people, right, so they can protect their livelihoods. And that's the calling that we have is, hey, we want to make it easier for transporters and shippers and have them feel secure and trusting that we have the system and platform to make their job a lot easier in this space.
Perfect. And so to round this out, we're going to have you back Thursday. If you want to come back on Dispatching Live and talk for a minute, because that's the carrier forum where we talk about loads and load boards, if you're available for a few minutes.
Let us circle up and figure out what our availability is. I know that
I thought we had that on the calendar, but
okay,
we're fine if we don't. We're
okay,
fine
the three of us do have a couple
and we're
of
live.
commitments, so that's good. Well, we'll figure it out, Jay. Hey,
the
the thing is, Jay,
roll. Yeah.
we're part of the community.
I
We're,
know, we
whether or not
appreciate
we're in that specific form or not, we're always happy
All right,
to be part of the conversation. So
well, and do us a favor if you're unable. Just keep us posted on what we need to know. And that's why we're having this conversation. Anything that we need to know and help pass along to the community that's accurate, informative, and, because there's always updates and changes in technology, please let us help you help the community. That's what we're here for.
Yeah. We appreciate that.
All right, cool. Awesome.
Thanks,
awesome.
guys.
Okay.
Good to see you. I'll see you next
Shoo!
week or a couple days, Casey.
Thanks, guys.
Like, wow. You travel that much all the time, Casey? back to back to back? Wow.
He's just trying to keep up with you, Ty.
I'll bet.
Yeah.
Man. Jet setter.
It's moving. Well, thanks, guys. We really do appreciate you.
Yeah.
You guys are really good friends, and we'll see you.
And Max, thank you for this appearance. Really appreciate it. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah. Nice
Of course.
to meet
Thanks
you,
for having
Max.
me. Thank you.
All right.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you, RunBuggy. We'll be in touch. All right. Camera one. Now what we're going to do is time and end this meeting will be, I'll bring you back in the, we're going to do part 2. We normally don't have like all these segments and fancy stuff, but we actually have another segment tonight. What we're going to do is we're going to bring in, this is the Repo Summit NARS 2023 Repo Bunch Extravaganza. And they'll be coming in right now. So go ahead and get your buzzers ready. We've got, let's see, Renee. Oh, Renee is here. I think Renee got in here first. Here we go. Mic check 1, 2, 3. Thanks for jumping in the live chat too. Carlos, Melissa, Ryan. That's awesome. Oh, I think Ryan's going to be live with us here. Oh, Joel Kennedy. Ryan. Oh, Jose. Oh, this is awesome. So Ty, get the new link, and we'll bring you in here, and I can invite you if need be. While everyone's getting everything. Yeah, go ahead and get everything ready. I'm still on camera 1. I'll go ahead and throw an invite over to Ty. Everybody can get situated. Go ahead and try. There's some. I think there's a shrimp cocktail behind the lox and bagels. I wish. Oh my God, doesn't that sound good?
It does. What's up, guys?
Here we go. Please do help me wish a warm welcome. The Repo Bunch back together again in part. Head of the NARS 2023 Repo Summit. Thank you so much for taking the time, everybody. You can see me and you can hear me okay?
Yeah.
You're fine, yeah.
You can hear you.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, well, Ty will be here in a minute. I know everybody's got things going on. Let's start with, I saw Renee first. Renee, please say hello. Now, whether you're in Orlando, tell us where you are and who you are. Take it away, Renee.
Hi, I'm Renee Lowe, the Training Education Coordinator for Harding Brooks Insurance Agency, the headline sponsor for the North American Repossessor Summit.
Ooh.
I am in Orlando, Florida, Waiting for the ARA convention to start tomorrow and NARS to start on Thursday.
So you're already in Orlando. Awesome.
I'm in Orlando.
So Renee is in Orlando. All right, Joel, I think I saw you next. Joel, tell us who you are and where you are.
Hey everybody, Joel Kennedy with the American Recovery Association. I'm here in wonderful Orlando for the ARA convention and then the North American Repossessors Summit.
Okay, that's 2 for Orlando. Jose, I think I saw you next. Tell us who you are and where you are.
Hey, I'm Jose with Location Services, and I'm on my way to Orlando. We leave tomorrow morning, and we'll be there for NARS as well.
Okay, perfect. All right, Jose. And then Ryan, tell us who you are and where you are.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Ryan Miller with Northwest Repossessions out of Chicago, also the secretary for the Alliance of Illinois Repossessors. I'm currently still at home right now, but I'll be down in NARS in Orlando tomorrow morning.
All right, perfect. So we've got 2 in Orlando. Now, all of you are headed to NARS. I'm the only one not. Ty will be here in a minute, and he's also going to be headed there. Okay, so let's start with in Orlando. By the way, before we go any further, Renee, you said, did you say headlining sponsor?
We're the headline sponsor for NARS, yes.
What does that mean? Tell us more about that.
We just are, big supporters of the American Recovery Association, and we totally believe in the whole concept of NARS, where all the repossession community and its ecosystem comes together to form a united front, to learn from each other, and we're just here to support it.
Did you see my quiz question earlier? One of the options was...
I did. I saw your quiz question.
What? You saw that? I said Repo Summit is, if I can recall it, either A, mountain of in-op cars. Is that unbelievable? B, an annual 2-day conference hosted by the ARA. C, a pile of money left over from redemptions. Or D, what was D? Oh, a place where lenders and repo agents can conspire and argue. Is it all?
Answer.
I like D. Before we move on further, Jose, Location Services, we owe you big time. You're sending Ty to NARS this year. Thank you. We really appreciate that.
Pleasure.
Why is it important for transportation and repossession to talk so much?
The truth of the matter is that right now transportation is really what's keeping repo agents from being able to repo more cars. We have a repo agent in Chicago that we work with, and his lot holds 300 cars. And he has to be able to turn those cars, right? Because right now, his average days of transport was sitting like at 14, 15. So that means if he has 300 cars on his lot, he can only turn it one time, which means he could only repo 600 cars in a month, right? And what we're trying to do is we're trying to communicate to everyone that we got to get these cars moved in less than 10 days, because that'll give him the opportunity to turn his lot 3 times. And then that means he'll be able to repo 900 cars in that month. And then if he does that, then, you get more cars into the system. You get to sell the cars faster. Right now he has to pick and choose. He sees cars and he might choose to not pick them up, and that hurts certain finance companies that might not be the top tier finance companies. And so he gets to be selective, because if he only gets to repo 600 cars because the cars aren't moving off his lot fast enough, he's only going to be selective on the ones that he can pick up. And I think Ryan could probably speak to that too, and just talk a little bit more about how that's really affecting the industry. But I think there's a lot of causes for that, but we could, go down that road later. But yeah, that's why I think it's important for all of us to talk and communicate so the lenders understand that.
We learned, I don't remember the order of the events. This is pre-Repo Bunch last fall. When the lot is full, we did that show. Like, as we were learning what you just said, like, I didn't know that was a problem.
Yeah, and it's only getting worse right now. Well, because right after COVID, a lot of repo agents went out of business, but really a lot of transporters went out of business too. And that's, I don't know if people are talking about it as much as they should, but that's moving cars is a really tough business, especially if they don't have keys.
Right. And that gets into the key conversation.
Right.
Right? It's assumed that somebody at the lot is like, well, we could make a key, but we're not gonna. That's not the problem, is it?
No, the problem is trying to get that approval from the lender. And really, some keys are special order keys, and some keys just cost more than others. But a lot of the lenders, they have special deals with the auctions to cut them at the auctions lot cheaper. And then the auctions, they run special deals to also get the cars transported cheaper than maybe the agent being able to drop them off, right? Because we're working with a couple of large transportation brokers, and we're trying to sign on as many of our recovery agents as we can. But again, going back to now we're problem solving, but really one of the big problems is the auctions have really cut back their times to be able to receive cars on it through their gate, right? They used to be 24/7, but now when they contract a repo agent to go deliver the car, well, the agent wants to leave his lot at 10 p.m. at night with a car, drop it off at the auction, go repo one, take it to his lot, drop it off, pick up another one, drop it off at the auction on his way out, go repo another car. And so he's got this round robin going, but he can't really do that if the auctions, don't have their gates open at night in order to be able to receive cars, in order for that whole custody and bill of lading thing, right? So it's like, it's a bigger problem than what people are really talking about. And I really think that NARS this year, I'm really hoping that we could highlight some of this so that we could really help out the agents and get these cars moving and turning, and really in turn help the lenders recover more cars and make some of those losses.
Doesn't Jose do a great job explaining things that are complicated, but he makes it sound simple?
Man, good job, Jose.
Yeah, that's awesome. Who wants to say
you,
something? Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Who else wants to jump in here? We'll go for another 15 minutes or so. I'm not in any hurry, but I know like Brianna couldn't make it. I don't know what everybody's schedule is. But as we head into the show, and we can talk about the agenda. Joel, as I was telling you, what we talked Friday, let's go ahead and bring up the site. As we go to reposummit.com. I love to highlight websites. There's so much information there. It's just a basket of free information. I can start clicking on stuff, getting information. On Thursday, all right, so there's that golf tournament, but in the afternoon you've got, let's go ahead and see if I can make that bigger. Okay, State Association meeting on Thursday afternoon. What's that about?
So we've seen a big uptick in activity at the state level, which is just a fantastic awakening. And I mean, I know you're asking me, but you should maybe, Ryan is really,
jump in, Ryan. Yeah.
AIR, and that's just exciting. So maybe Ryan, you might want to chime in on that bit, and then I'll come in and kind of fill in the other pieces.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to be actually speaking there for that state association meeting along with 3 other agents that are out there, and it's going to be a good conversation. We're hoping to have a really big turnout. Just as Joel was saying, we've had a very big increase recently of having a lot more state associations that have been showing up or kind of popping up. And a lot of them just need a little bit of help on how to structure or try to build it up or, get other members that are in there. So we're going to be having some discussions that, me and 3 other people that are up there are going to have a conversation about how to make things better for your association and try to build things up. And even if no one has a new association, how to start one up and build it into something that is productive that can be done within your market that's right there.
Is there any homework somebody can do before they get there, or are you going to provide homework, or?
It's really just trying to make sure that everyone's just on the same page with what they're trying to accomplish, and I think that's been a difficult thing over the years, is trying to make everyone agree on something. So as long as you can all have a common goal and move towards move it all in the right direction, that's right there. I think this meeting is going to be very beneficial for any new agent that wanted to see what was going on in their market and see what was going on in their in the industry just as a whole. You know, everyone gets a little focused on what's going on just in front of them, but you need to zoom out a little bit and see everything that's happening. So we're just going to try to help bring some perspective in on that.
All right, cool. So then there's an introduction and pledge, and then you jump into CFPB.
Yeah.
Did I do that right? This sounds pretty meaty.
Yeah. So, that afternoon we've got the CFPB, and then following that, we have our government affairs specialist, Jennifer LaTourette with Van Scoyk Associates, who's part of the Repo Alliance supported framework. This is just a fantastic catch. I don't know what other word to say. I've prided myself and the others in this industry for really embracing the CFPB and engaging with them and kind of hug the monster type deal. Benjamin Litwin is with them. He's on the data team that has issued that big, extensive data search study that's been a request out to about 9 major lenders, where there are a lot of questions about the repossession process. And having him there is just a great opportunity for us to make sure that we are putting fact and data inside his brain, so he can hopefully use that to parse through his data intelligently. I think we've seen a lot of times when media and other folks will grab a chunk of data from one of the bureaus, slice and dice it, and come out and say, "Oh, this is how the world is looking." And it's like, no, man, it's not that wet roads cause rain. You've got it all wrong, kind of thing. So this is an opportunity for us to kind of educate him, because this is really what we don't lobby with them. We really just want to make sure they know and understand our industry and the negative consequences of any of their regulations or what have you. Jennifer gives us an inside view following him, an inside view as to what's going on Capitol Hill. What I've been learning in the world of government relations is that there is a great deal of work that goes on, but there's kind of very little that you can really talk about. And this is a terrible analogy to use, but I know everybody remembers it. Do you remember when they asked Donald Trump about would he go to war with somebody, or what was his plan to deal with a certain country? And he said, "I'm not going to tell you what my plan is. If I tell you my plan, then the other people are going to know, and they may, preclude me and take initial action, or they'll know that I'm coming." And so there's so much of that in there that, Jennifer can tell us a great deal about the accomplishments that we've had by having that type of government relations in place. This is something we never had before. I'm very proud of the fact that she represents not only represents the industry of recovery professionals, not just ARA members. If you're involved in forwarding, if you're involved in LPR, if you're involved in lending, you are also getting value from having her there. And so just really excited about that session. So that kind of closes out that Thursday. On Friday, we get into more industry issues, if you will. And the one that I'll call out at the end is our final session there, the transport crisis. So we have Wayne Ray, who's been on the program before, Darcy Case, Casey Harmon, Naji Haddad, and we have ATI represented there too now, thanks to Location Services.
Yeah. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Yeah, there's before we get to the transportation, okay, so I just want to mention Harding Brooks. Those cocktail parties are awesome. You stirred everything up on Thursday. Now everybody's going to need a cocktail and get a chance to network. Thank you, Harding Brooks. I put a link in the live chat.
Everyone's invited to our cocktail party.
Go to the cocktail party. Those
and
things
come
are
by our
amazing.
booth and to see our special photo booth that we have created
you got
for this
a photo
event.
booth and everything. That's awesome.
So we have. I just got to say this one last thing, because otherwise, we have. We've broken all records. We have the highest attendance we've ever had. We have now the Repo demo, which is a live demo with a vehicle outside.
Oh, wow.
You can see dollies being used. You can see the different challenges that our members face. This is a member-owned and driven organization, okay? I'm just the executive director. I'm just here to kind of help out. There is such fantastic things happening in this organization, and our predecessors, for Vaughn and myself, being Les McCook and Dave Kennedy, and the entire team, and Renee, and everybody in the industry, have made this into something bigger than I've ever seen. And this year is really a demonstration of that. So just super excited and grateful to you guys on the ATI show, grateful for everybody really coming together. We have a spirit of transparency that's really, really on the up and up. And just like I said, total sense of gratitude. This thing is bigger than it's ever been, content packed, everybody's welcome, transparency. And look, we have a number of different contingencies. We've got lenders, forwarders, recovery professionals, and the CFPB and media. What do all these 5 people have in common? Wow. What do all 5 of these people care about? They all care about preventing consumer harm. Everybody is equally as concerned about that. The state organizations, everybody. And to bring this to light and to get everybody together and then to funnel that up through to possibly drive sensible regulation and legislation, this is nirvana.
Agree.
Wow.
Joel.
So at that cocktail party, right, Ty, you need to research the attendance list and get to hugging. Right?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, this is. I mean, I've never been, so I'm talking to Casey, who was just on the show last week at Car. After the show, we're standing out there talking, and he brings up NARS. I'm like, oh man, we really wanted to go. We were trying to make it happen, this and that. And anyway, I said, what's it like? And he starts describing it to me. He's like, this is a different conference. It's different. You got a different crowd. Might get a little rowdy, don't know. But I was thinking, what an honor, for real, to have the transport guys be there too.
And then Ken Garbez and Jose, we see, I mean, probably within an hour of that conversation, and they're like, you guys have to go.
Yeah.
It was, is that
Jose,
Kismet?
Yeah, Ken and Jose, yeah. So basically what all Joel just said, like, I don't even know, but I can just imagine. I mean, that is really, really super cool. And Joel's right. You said, I don't remember your exact words, but I'm calling it grassroots. I'm feeling this sense of, man, there's real connection. We're going to genuinely meet each other. I'm not being Debbie Downer, but I'm just saying, look, it's getting rough. And if the more I know about you and the more you know about me, there's a really good chance we're actually going to get something accomplished in a positive way with a positive outcome. And maybe even do it safe.
And maybe, dare I say, folks who own the vehicles and control the money can hear something they really need to hear in a way that they can make sense of it. Am I right about that?
Absolutely. Look, my first exposure to NARS and the ARA and the whole world of recovery was through my involvement in the National Automotive Finance Association, when we would coordinate with the ARA to do industry standards. And this is from back in 2018 when I didn't know that much about repossession. And so this transparency and this willingness to get everybody together, it's not always been that way in the recovery space. It's been a little more, like you said, it's been a little bit more rough and tumble. And there are folks who think that maybe bringing a little more fire than kind of olive branches may be the way. And I don't criticize that. Everybody's got to do what they've got to do. But I feel like these are some long-term objectives. The really smart people are the ones that can deny their gratification. And I like to believe that the ARA is showing that they've been doing that. Very patient, waiting for the right time to make things happen, building relationships, like I said, hugging the monster with the regulators, spending the money boldly in the midst of the 2020 pandemic and getting our ability to get a government relations person hired. These are bold moves. This is long-term thinking, and the cows are starting to come home, and we're starting to harvest, and it's only going to get better, folks. It's only going to get better.
That's good. That's encouraging. I love it.
Yeah, and Joel, you do a great job of steering the ship. Pretty
Thank
cool.
you.
Right? Isn't it cool
look,
to
I
see
can't
Joel
Hey,
at the helm?
hey, I cannot take the credit. Look, we have
Yeah.
fantastic sponsors. We've got fantastic guests. It's just unbelievable. This is not something that I could influence on my own. Absolutely not.
Let's just take a look at the rest of the. Oh man, it's those breakfasts. Those are literally one of my favorite events at a trade show. Is the breakfast. So I'm gonna miss that. Okay, Skip Tracy needs LPR. That sounds good. What's somebody who wants to take that one? Skip tracing and LPR.
License plate recognition. I say it's license plate reader. Isn't that the license plate reader?
License plate recognition. Yeah. Which location services? Take it away, Jose.
Yeah, look, we provide both of those services, but I'm not sure exactly at the conference what they're going to cover with it. But skip tracing and LPR really work hand in hand. Knowing historically where that car has been when you're trying to find that car, that vehicle, is priceless. Because if that consumer was generally in the Atlanta market, but you keep getting hits on that car down in Miami, you're looking in the wrong place, or it might be a straw purchase, and so it really helps you zone in on where the car is, because we don't skip trace to look for the people. We skip trace to look for the car, and I think most forwarders out there are doing very similar things. And LPR, it really is. It's not the end all, but I tell you what, it's a great tool. And through Insight LPR, it's our sister company. They're another up and coming LPR company. They currently don't share data with us or with others, but what we're brainstorming on doing is maybe thinking of a way that if somebody says, hey, I have this VIN, that maybe they could say, you need to assign it to this agent because he was the last one that scanned it. And so it's not necessarily using the data to find the person, but if you know the agent that they told you to use because they were the last scanner, then you know where the car is. And so for us, it's a little bit different than some of the others, but all in all, the LPR data, I mean, it's priceless. It's really good stuff.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, Ty.
I just got to tell you that I know what he's talking about. So I got to ride around with Corey in the truck, right? These things. Okay, so this whole skip deal and trying to find the car. So we're looking for this one car, supposed to be at this address, and there's a picture, right? And he's teaching me, he's showing me, he's like, what do you see? And I'm like, well, that curb right there looks a little different than what we're looking at. He's like, right, look across the street. And so you just start figuring out, and then you update the system. Am I right? Is that how that works? When you start figuring that you're like, okay, wrong side of the street, guys, it's over here. We don't see the car, but just so you know, we put the pictures together. That's like, is that right? Am I wrong? I don't know.
No, you're dead on accurate with that one. Wherever the vehicle is located, that's where you need to start doing your cloverleaf search pattern, starting to look around from there. But even when you were talking about people just moving from like Atlanta to Chicago, or whatever the case could be, the skip tracing needs a verification of the LPR for post-pandemic migration. So you can find where all these different people are going and what's happening, and really track people from start to finish on where everything's at. So this is just good verification for the lien holder to get that collateral recovered by agents like us.
And if I remember,
amazing. Go ahead.
If I remember correctly, last year at NARS, because of the license plate recognition, one of the guests at the hotel's car got repoed during NARS because somebody got a hit and the car went away.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, if you're not current on your car payment and you're driving to NARS, don't.
Yeah. Yeah,
it was just some guy here with his happened to be staying at the hotel during the worst conference for a non-payer on a vehicle, and it got popped by LPR.
That is crazy.
The hotel probably got a 1-star review because of us. Oh well.
Yeah. Well, so here's something we've been talking about, and I don't know if I missed part of the first conversation. I find this part intriguing. So the lender, I call that the big money. That's the guys that's writing the notes for the car. So tell me if I'm wrong, but I think they make a contract with maybe an auction, okay, after the repo guy. So to me, it looks like it's two parts. here's our repo company in case things go bad. If things do go bad, here's our auction within this circle. So am I right so far?
Okay, yep.
We're good? Okay. So where it gets interesting is this and I've done this, and it's always perplexed me, but because the lender has a contract with a particular auction, they've got a car 200 miles away, let's just say, at the repo yard. The repo guy got it. It's at the yard. It's ready to go. Ty, go get it. Okay, we do the 24-hour notice. We drive down there. We're 15 minutes late. The repo guy's been up all night. He's not having a great day anyway. The people tried to come and hit him in the face with a baseball bat. I just want the car. Turns into a brawl between my driver and the repo guy. Okay, we got to reschedule, do it again. Okay, there's one day. There's fight. There's 14 phone calls in the middle. Next day saying, finally, get the car. Great. Here's where I'm going with this. Finally got the car in the transport. Now we're going to drive 200 miles to go drop it off where the contract is. In the course of driving from the repo lot to where the contract is, I literally drive by 3 independent auctions. And I'm like, okay, time out. Everybody wants that thing sold. Lenders, consigners, big money. We just burned up another 3 days fighting, and we just drove right by 3 auctions that could probably do a similar job. I'm just guessing. So I'm thinking about this. I'm talking about
the reason Ty, that happens, right, is just because the lender, they make a deal with the different auction chains or the different auctions in the different markets, and the way that the cars bring the most money in the lane is to get the most eyeballs on them. And the way you get the most eyeballs is to have the biggest offering. So someone like I'll use
very well said. I get it. That makes sense.
Yeah, so we sell cars for the various lenders, right? But if it was just a couple of location services customers, we might offer 15 cars. But because we have all of these credit unions that we repo for, and they all let us sell their cars, if I used all those auctions, I'd have small offerings. But because I could get them all together in one place, now I could run 50 cars at one time. And they know that our sales rate is probably about 90, 95%. So we're going to sell 45 out of those 50 cars. And this is where they get the biggest opportunity to buy them all. And so the buyers come to the sale. So it's not as easy as that. Plus, it all comes back down to net money, right? So the bank wants net the highest possible that they could get. And if that auction that's 200 miles away is the one that contracted that said, I'll go pick up that car for $100 anywhere within this 200-mile radius, and then I'll also cut the keys here at a cheaper rate because now they get to make that buy fee from the dealer that's buying the car. So they could lose a little bit of money on the sale side because they're making all that money on the buy side. And so, it's all just economics of the whole deal.
The problem is then, so 1 out of 10 is priced so low for whatever reason that the carrier doesn't want to get it. And this is why it comes up with us, because we're wondering, well, how do we get that thing moved? But, there's a much bigger picture. Really, it's really interesting. Makes sense.
Yeah. Well, and so, go ahead, Jose.
I was going to say, in the repo industry, everybody, talks about price. But really, in your transport industry, there's an auction out there that says, I have this car that is going to get moved. I want it moved for $200. And somebody says, I'll do it for $190. And someone says, I'll do it for $180, $170. And so these guys are bidding themselves down on price, right? Which is illegal.
Well,
yeah, well, our audience doesn't want to hear that, but this is where,
Well, the reason I bring this up...
that, right? Is that a real thing?
Well, you know what? I hate to say it. I've never been on the phone, but I hear somebody will say, I'll do it for $50 less. I don't know why. But they, because they're going out of business at 1.71 years or whatever. I mean,
1.72.
You can't do $50 less on a regular basis and stay in business.
Right.
Well, but see, here's ultimately the reason I'm asking this question. It is informative, and I think as a carrier base, we do need to understand these things because it can be frustrating, right? So we're just having a conversation. We're just explaining. Here's why, Ty. Okay, well, that makes sense, and I like it, and that's good. At the same time, though, I'm a little concerned about the carrier base dwindling, slowly going away. And I started thinking about, okay, how did the carrier get that assignment? How did he get that car, load, whatever you want to call it, from the auction to go pick up at Jose's lot? How'd that happen? Technology. That's what I've been told. It's usually some kind of a load board or some kind of an app, something that maybe the auction might have to manage that inventory. Is that fair so far? So then they maybe don't have that relationship with that carrier, but they got this app and it keeps poking this guy, and this guy's like, I'm not taking that car. I'm not taking that car. I'm not going to deliver that. I'm not doing it. We're at 7 days now. Some alarms are getting ready to go off, I think, somewhere. Some red lights and some, what do we call them, bubblegum machines, or bubblegum lights, whatever. But I guess what I'm trying to figure out is how are we as an industry, transport, let's just stick with transport, how are we as an industry doing in getting the consignors' cars delivered to the auction in a timely manner? Does that make sense? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, you're taking longer than you should. Is really the I think at the end of the day, the story is that these cars should be moved within, the car gets repo day 1, the bank gets notified day 2, they send out a notice of intent, you call it day 3, then somewhere in there you're cutting the key simultaneously. Really by day 5 or 6, that car should, an order goes to the auction then starts to schedule transport. I mean, that car is ready to go as soon as Repo Ryan takes the personal property out and does the condition report. I mean, he wants to cut that key the next day, and then that car gets to, gets to be moved. But the car really probably sits there. And, the example that you gave of the guy 200 miles away, that's probably 20% of the time. But I think 80% of the work is within a 50-mile radius of any auction. And they're picking up the cars from these guys on a regular basis because, most of these guys that are in these big cities, they repo cars for these major lenders that sell at these major auctions. So you would think at some point in time there would be able to be a nice bridge being built that is just, they already know. They know that this guy's hours of operations are from 9 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon, and you got to pick up in a 15-minute window, right?
And that's where better technology might be able to help some of these problems on the fly, right?
Right.
Because if it can...
So which one, right? Because you got so many of them.
Right. Oh, shit, I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know.
Well,
I'm not
I know
Chat
for sure
GPT.
You guys are really seriously amazing.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you guys.
So what you can do then, Ty, is starting with the state association meeting, get that spiral binder, load it up with questions, problems, and information. So when you hit transport crisis, you can blow their minds.
Yeah. I like the transport crisis title too. It reminds me of the transportation dumpster fire. Good.
Joel, the one thing that I'm surprised you guys didn't put in there, and I don't know how popular it is, but I heard Renee talking about it, and the guys did it on the show where he did the Brady Bunch, is that these auctions are now starting to repossess cars, or they're starting to pick them up at impounds. And I think Copart's doing a lot of that for our lenders. And I remember, Renee, you gave a really great talk on that these auctions, they don't really have repossessors insurance. So as a carrier, they're taking the auction sending out transporters. They just think it's a normal tow, but it's really a repossession, and they're putting themselves at risk or at harm by picking them up at these body shops or impound yards, fronting this money. But that's really directly taking money right out of the repo agent's pocket. And I mean, I know a couple of lenders that are using the auctions out there, but I'm not sure that they know the extent of the danger. And I don't use auctions to pick up any cars for us, and we do a ton of impounds. But I mean, maybe they have the right insurance. I don't know, right? But that's pretty dangerous.
An auction's not going to have wrongful repossession insurance, and it's going to depend upon how the contract with the lender and the auction is written. But any voluntary repo can become go bad. I mean, all voluntary repos are not textbook perfect, and so if there's a wrongful repossession suit and the auction's not going to have the coverage, so and again, depending on the contract, but the client may be the one picking up that whole total bill. So, you know, repossessors have the right insurance in place in case a repo goes bad. And there's a lot more repos that go bad now than there ever used to be.
Yeah, I'm not sure that that's maybe something that the industry really understands as it relates to impounds. So I don't know, Joel, maybe there's a place in there at NARS, and maybe it's not this one, but maybe a place of discussion that we could talk about how impounds work. You know, it's always been a place where people feel like, hey, there's too many fees, and really that's what needs to be regulated by the CFPB, because that's where exorbitant amount of fees are being charged. But that's another thing, is having the auctions.
That's right. The CFPB uniformly hates fees, and that's something that you'll hear from me. You'll hear from the folks at Bassford Remley. You'll hear from probably Eric Johnson over at Hudson Cook. All the experts agree that and wrongful repossession, even worse. Those are the two hot button areas that they're really looking at. So, you know, when you put that in concert with their data grab, lenders should be concerned to make sure that they have licensed people that are going to cover the liability and be well trained and be able to perform. Even if it's an involuntary, there's still a lot of danger involved. I just think it's kind of the perfect storm right now with that data grab that they're doing. It just dictates the need for absolute transparency across the process.
I was going to say, Jose, what you're talking about there is the Ogero network out there that was actually sending out a lot of the tow trucks out there to go pick up those repossessions. But just as Joel was saying, making sure you've got licensed and compliant and educated, recovery agents or professionals that are out there making sure that they're doing the right job, the right time. It's never the wrong time to do the right thing. So you always got to make sure you've got everything done 100% perfect every single time, because just exactly as Joel said, it can go wrong in just a minute.
And a trained repossessor is going to know how to diffuse a situation a lot quicker than a guy doing just a tow. Think it's just a plain tow.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow. What's happening in some of those other states where it's where you don't need a repossessor's license to repossess cars? There's still a handful of states out there, right, that don't require a license?
Absolutely, yeah. There's a whole bunch of them that are out there right now. That should change.
The associations, I think, could be really good too in every single one of those states.
Yeah.
Some lives.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much more table stakes now to do things just in general within this industry. We used to publish basically like a white page, as a guide. It had listings of all of our members, broken out by state. So if you were a lender or whoever, and you could just kind of crack open the book and say, hey, I need to repossess a car in this particular county, you can pick somebody. Well, the world has kind of changed, and now you need to prove your excellence. You need to prove that you're well trained. You need to prove your compliance, that you've been trained, your staff have been trained, that you have your insurance certification. A lot of these things that are monitored by folks like us and MBSI and Risk, and some others in the industry. You can't just willy-nilly pick a name. The game has changed. You need to make sure that the person has these credentials if you really want to cover yourself, because if you're going to try to battle a wrongful repossession lawsuit saying that you didn't have any vetting process by which to select a recovery, which is the most dangerous in-your-face customer engagement you could have as a lender, good luck. Good luck trying to defend that.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah,
whoa,
it's just not a good.
Not good. That was really good information.
Wow.
Man.
This is
That's
just
why every time I hang out with these guys, I swear, I'm like, just whoa. And I mean, being down there, you guys have a really, really difficult job, and I mean that. And hats off to all you guys. Seriously.
Ty, you get in Thursday morning, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I'm gonna person I got to find is Renee. Renee needs a hug, so.
Oh, yeah, right on.
Hey, I'll take a hug, man.
I'll get
I'll
Joel
take a
next.
hug.
I'm taking for Joel.
There you
I'm
go.
hugger. Jose knows, Ryan knows, right? We're all. It's all right.
And I want to plug something real quick.
Yeah, what do you got?
Yeah.
For you guys were talking about privacy for cars. The ARA has a policy statement. The privacy for cars fits under the world of FTC safeguards. The FTC safeguards rule is dealing with consumer private information that can be in a vehicle. And the new safeguards rule that was supposed to roll out in January, that's been postponed until I think June or July. The ARA worked with the Bassford Remley folks to come out with an operational recommendation and a policy. And that's what you guys were talking about, which is this. You have a car, it gets repossessed. It's on the repossession lot. Then it gets handed over to a transporter. Then it gets taken to the auction, and maybe 2 or 3 other hands touch it. A couple people move it. Every single person in that chain of custody has access to that information in the vehicle. When you connect your phone, it takes in not just your music, but it brings in your contacts, your personal information, your doctor's name, a whole bunch of stuff. It takes everything off your phone. It is our position, and we partnered with the folks at Bassford Remley to build this up, that every point of the chain of custody, it should be checked. And so that means every person can use, for example, Andrea's solution to do an immediate swipe of the data off that vehicle. So that's really kind of what that whole thing is about. And we think it's certainly the most protective. It's defensible, and it demonstrates for us, at least where I'm sitting, it demonstrates really how strongly we can advocate for really smart legislation that is protective of the consumer and to keep them from being harmed. Because we are still hearing people. I mean, even Patrick Altez, who is one of the industry legends. He's got a fantastic repo podcast. He was telling us he bought a car recently that the data wasn't swiped. So it's clearly, it's clearly not happening all the way through the process. So it's like one of these things like, everybody can check and then you check the checker and then the checker checks the other checker. When it comes to PII, I mean, that's the level that I think the regulators really like to see something like that. So I know you guys had some questions on that earlier, and I just wanted to help maybe shed some light on that. We have looked at it, something we feel pretty passionate about, that we can, just an example where industry can get together, come up with some standards, shoot it over to the regulators and say, hey, you guys are looking to solve this? We have an idea. Try this on for size. And, but, Jose, you mentioned it earlier. It's not always easy to get everybody on the same page. We know we've put out a pretty protective policy. Not everybody necessarily agrees with it. We're thrilled to just keep the dialogue going, and really, I did mean it when I said it earlier. And this is my big theme for the week here is let's start off with what we all have in common, and that is protecting the consumer from harm.
Agreed. I'm in.
All
Renee,
right.
come on, Renee, you should be in.
Hey.
She's over there. It's trouble. But thanks, guys. I know it's late over there.
Dude,
we do appreciate you.
There
so
are
much.
tons of links in the live chat. I mean, from Patrick's podcast, NorthwestRepossession.com. That's Ryan's company, Location Services. We got repo.org. That's where you can find more information about the ARA. Consumerfinance.gov. That's the CFPB. Privacy for Cars, Inside LPR. Hardingsbrooks.com. I mean, there's so much information that we were able to cover tonight about, 45, 50 minutes or hours, whatever this was. But it was awesome. So thank you so much for taking all the time.
Yeah.
And just really great. You're going to have a great week, Ty. So, Ty, I'll
really
see
excited.
you again Friday.
Friday,
Unless you're able to say hello Thursday. We got Brian Riker tomorrow. It's a full week here at ATI.
We'll definitely be live Friday. We'll definitely be with Location Services. Hopefully we'll get Joel, Renee, Ryan, get the gang, and definitely say hi Friday.
Okay, cool.
We'll make it work somehow or another.
Yeah,
Thanks,
exactly.
guys.
Thank you all
Thank
so
you for
much.
having us.
We'll
Thank
see you
you,
on Thursday,
ATI.
Ty.
Happy
Bye.
Repo
Yeah, thank
Summit,
you.
everybody.
Thank you, Jose.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
thanks again, Jose. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Renee. Thank you, Joel. Thank you, Ryan. All right, so here we go. That's a wrap on the Repo Bunch Summit group. Yeah, thank you very much for tuning in to ATI. I really appreciate it. Great, again, meeting you, Melissa and Adriana at Car Conference. And Seth Luck, thank you, buddy. Making martinis in the super chat. Really do appreciate it. Location services, Rapid Recon, Superflow Systems, Ship Your Car Now. Ship.Cars, and also for the super chat from Ty and Mark and Seth. Everybody, thank you so much for taking the time. Mic check 1 2 3. Really checking the audio again. Where's this? What is this? This is the microphone. You're checking the audio at the end of the show because we care. We're ATI from start to finish. We want to make sure that it's informative, it's absorbable. Oh, it's 2.5 hours, Jay. Great. Well, this was show 288 in a row. Thank you so much for joining us. Like I said, tomorrow, Live Care Advice, monthly show on Wednesdays at noon with Brian Riker. If you've got a question about FMCSA, clearinghouse, man, he is very knowledgeable. Your DOT guy, Brian Riker. That's at noon tomorrow. We'll be back on Thursday with Dispatching Live. New format. Check it out. I didn't explain what that meant because we're going to feel our way through this. We have a lot of changes and things to do. Friday, Cars on the Move. Ty will be live at Repo Summit. And then we'll be back Tuesday night with Rapid Recon. You know the deal. ATI Auto Business. It's an automotive ecosystem, and whether you're in transportation and logistics, you're a dealer, you're an auction, or all the way in the new car OEM space, we want to talk about it here. Tuesday nights live. ATI Auto Business, the flagship show. I'm your host. I'm your founder. Thank you so much. It's been an honor and a pleasure. I hope to see you again soon. Take care, everybody. Thank you.